One, two, one, two, one, two, like we never left. Welcome back for another brand new episode of the Beyond Exhibition podcast with your two most favorite co-hosts in the entire world, myself, Eduardo. And I want to give his code name anymore out because we shared a meme and we said we promised we're not going to share his name because there is only one left in the world. And you already know the best what we're referring to. There we
Motherfucking white
go.
rhino.
So, man, it feels like we haven't talked in, I would say, like in a month or so, man. It just feels like it's been so long. Every time we miss an episode, there's like a feeling of guilt. Like I left something at
Oh,
home on my trip, or I forgot to wear underwear that day or something like that. It's almost
yeah.
relative to that feeling. But yeah, we definitely want to apologize to everybody. Of course, we missed recording an episode the week before this. I went on a little 3-day weekend vacation to Vegas.
Yeah,
My
I want
wife
to hear it.
surprised me. My wife surprised me with a Valentine's gift to go to a weekend in Vegas, and we did some stuff and all that. But yeah, so I'll just recount what the trip, a little step by step, or from what I can remember. I'll just say this off flat. Friday,
Oh,
I got
it's
heavily
already lit.
intoxicated. I got heavily intoxicated on Friday of that weekend. But yeah, man, the trip was cool. I personally don't like flying. One fun fact about Eduardo, I do not like flying. I hate fucking flying, and I get motion sickness like a mother.
Oh,
So I was trying to just kind of keep my cool. Once we got on the airplane, all that, the ride there, we flew out of SeaTac, lovely Seattle, and it was cool. I mean, the flight there wasn't too bad. We got on board. We left. We got there around 9:30 ish. And what's crazy, man, the weather over there for the time that we're at right now, we're in the March, right? It's
yeah.
pretty warm over there. I mean, it was a little bit of wind. It was a little bit of wind, but definitely warmer compared to here. It felt really good, actually. So, but no, man,
How
it was
how was
solid.
their how was their homeless population in comparison to ours?
There is one area, surprise or not, man. We actually went to go check out the Pawn Star there, or Pawn Store, and
I saw that in
on
your
their
Instagram.
yes, on our way there, there is one area that honestly reminded me of Skid Row. It's like a little mini Skid Row. It was from what I can remember, because I've been this is my fourth time being there, but from what I
Yeah.
can remember, I feel like it got a little worse. That's just my take on it, but not as much on the strip. On the strip, not as much as comparison to before, but like on the outer parts of Vegas itself, like the Vegas Strip, there is quite a bit of homeless wandering around. So yeah, there is a little bit of that. There's actually a documentary out there and talks of what they call like the tunnel people. People live underneath like the streets of Las Vegas and stuff like that. It's crazy.
Wow.
So yeah.
All right. Well, enough about the lowlies. We're not here to talk about them. We're here to talk
Police.
about you.
Yes. So yes, first night we got there, man. We got there around like 9:30 ish, 10 o'clock. Pretty hungry at this time of the day. Because I haven't ate anything before that because I didn't want to puke or anything. So that's why I was like, you know what, I'm gonna hold it till we get to Vegas. So we'll get there, we'll get something to eat. Of course, In-N-Out was on the menu. In-N-Out was on the mind to go
Nice.
to get something to eat. And I talked to you via text. I
Yep.
had a burger and what is in your spirit, in your honor. Of course, like this was for Brett. I'm gonna lay it right here. And I ate that second burger, but I had two of those double. What do they call? I don't know the ones with the double patties. I don't know the names of them. I'm horrible remember names, but I had
From
two
In
of
and Out.
those. Yeah, In-N-Out. What do they call them?
Okay.
The
I don't
the
know.
doubles,
I've
whatever you
never
call
had
them.
In and Out myself. I've
Oh,
only had
really?
Whataburger.
Okay. So again, I'm gonna say what I said in the text message, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, you're crazy." I don't know. I didn't think you wouldn't like it, whatever. It's okay. I'm not gonna say I dislike it. It's all right. Me
Okay.
personally, Dick's Burgers here in Seattle. If you haven't been here in Seattle, Dick's Burgers, I would honestly say Dick's Burgers tops it, hands down. To me personally, that's
Wow.
just my take. Whataburger, I haven't had yet. I'll have to try that sometime in the near future. But yeah, man. I mean, it was cool. I mean, if it satisfied me, it satisfied my hunger, so it was all right. But I'm not gonna go out of my way and say like it was the best thing ever. I mean, it was good, but I wouldn't hold it up into high status. That's just me though. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
man,
Fair
that
enough.
was all right. It was all right.
The other burger I saw you eating was a big old fatty at
Oh
that
yeah.
Gordon Ramsay restaurant.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that was kind of a spur of the moment. We were trying to debate what we wanted to go eat because on Friday night, the day before that, so this was on Saturday, we went to Gordon Ramsay Steakhouse. I'll tell you what. Let's talk about the steakhouse first. I'll get to the burger. Oh, there's so much
Okay.
to unload.
Okay.
There's so much to unload. So we made my lovely wife made reservations for us to eat there. Right on our way there, we actually went to the wrong hotel because we for some reason we thought it was at the Flamingo, but it was actually at the Paris. So we got an Uber, got to the Flamingo, and we're like, wait, it's not here. And the driver's like, no, that's at the Paris. I'm like, So we're over here trying to wait for an Uber and then or a taxi to come by. My wife is already kind of upset. And I'm like, it was my call. I'll take full responsibility because I thought for whatever reason it was with the flamingo. So I'm like, my bad, babe. It's my fault. My bad. I'll try to wave us down in a taxi or get another Uber. So this is what's crazy. There was a gentleman right next to us who was just he was I think he was just a regular limo driver, but he was driving a Suburban. He's like, hey, what are you guys trying to go? I'll take you for $20. Just I'll take you wherever you guys need to go. I'm like, we actually need to go to Paris, the Paris hotel, because we made some reservations. We're running a little late. So it's like, yeah, I can take you there, no problem. If you guys want to come with me. I'm like, at first we're kind of like going back and forth, like, I don't know. And then it's like, screw it, let's just do it. On the way there, he was actually a cook for Gordon Ramsay, and he met him and
Oh
everything. So we
man.
were talking about just how much of a down to earth person he is. He's really cool. He's not really what they portray him to be on TV. Of course, it's just for show. But he was just saying he was a super down to earth guy, really nice. And he also met what's that gentleman's name with the spiky hair? Guy Fravor? Is that what is his name?
Yeah, guy. Yeah, I didn't know his last name.
Is it Fravor or something like that? I probably butchered it, but yes, he met him and he said, yeah, same thing. Really nice guy. He just didn't want to be a cook anymore. He said he's been a cook for a few years and he just wanted to do this just to get some money too. Cause it makes, they're in Vegas, people waving down, what is it? Some cabs or whatever. Sometimes they're not there on time. So he'll just like cut in and be like, hey, just pay me $30 and I'll take you wherever. So he said he's making some good money.
Wow,
Yeah,
like a good little side hustle.
exactly. So very, very cool person, very cool person. But dude, the steakhouse though. Let's fast forward to the steakhouse.
Okay.
We had this. I had a New York steak. Wifey had a filet, but dude, she ordered the lobster tail with it. Oh, I swear to this day, I even said, "Yo, this is probably the best thing I've ever had in my life." It was like,
Wow.
dude, so good. I had to order another one. That's how good it was. Because I
No
was like,
way.
yo, I had to order another one right on the spot. Like, yo, my man, can I have another lobster tail, please?
Wow.
He's like, yeah, coming right up. It was so good, Brett. Oh my! I was like, when I tasted it, my wife's like, "You like it, huh?" I'm like, "Oh, this is amazing." Oh,
wow.
It was so good with the asparagus and the mashed potatoes, bro. I'm telling you, phenomenal, phenomenal. It was a pretty good eat spot there, man. It was I was really surprised because sometimes I have that fear to where sometimes they hype things up too much. And I was watching reviews of other people going, checking it out, and all that, giving their perspective on it. And I'm like, I gotta see for myself. I want to know if this is just all for show or if it's just the name behind it, Gordon Ramsay Steakhouse, or if it's the real deal. No, man, it's the real deal. It's really good. It's pricey, but I think it's well worth the price for the experience and all that.
I'm guessing you spent 300 leaving there.
A little bit more. It's up there, man. It's up there. When I saw the bills, like, holy
two people.
Only two people, bro. Only
about what, 175 a piece? Then,
yeah, it was pricey, and I was surprised because I don't really go out and dine like that, but for this special occasion, it's just me and my wife. It was actually our first time, just us two, since we had our daughter, so it was just us two, just getting away, kind of doing our own thing. So I say, why not? And it was phenomenal dinner. But that night, and I'll just say that night after that, so we're well fed, we're good, we're just walking the strip, and my sister-in-law was there too as well with her husband. So we met up with them down in this little avenue that kind of goes to where the Ferris wheel's at, that big Ferris wheel they put in Las Vegas, that goes slow around. But we met on that avenue and we're like, hey, let's go gamble a little bit. I'm not much of a gambler. I lost money. I'll just say that. I didn't even come up. So
most people do.
Yeah. So I'm not a high roller. Okay. So we go like, screw it. Let's just spend a little money. Let's go to the slots. Let's just go do the same. What if, right?
Yeah.
So on our way there, we come across this little stand and this gentleman selling drinks. It's like a little kiosk station, right? And I'm looking at the menu and I'm like, okay, tequila sunrise. That sounds really good. But I didn't know how much tequila this tequila sunrise had.
Oh God.
So once I'm like, all right, two, my man, can I get two? One for my brother, one for me. Wifey didn't want any, my sister-in-law didn't want any. They were just kind of just chilling, whatever. So dude, he's just pouring 2 shots back to back, a little bit of juice. I don't know, like just it was 2 or 3 different kinds of juice. And then he pours another tequila shot. So we're already 3 in right there. 3 tequila shots, Hornitos. So I'm drinking this and I'm just drinking. I'm just like, I'm just sipping on it, whatever. I finish it by the time we get to our first hotel. I forgot which one it was. I think we went to Caesars. It was Caesars we went to. So we get to Caesars and, I didn't know this. I mean, I don't really gamble. So I don't know the whole, the gist of how things go down when you're gambling there. But there's people that come around, or some ladies that come around and ask if you want any drinks. So it's per tip, right? They just tip them whatever, they'll bring you whatever it is that they have on the menu there. But I see a little convenience store to I was standing, it was kind of in front of me, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna get some couple beers. They're pretty pricey. I got some Michelobes, and they were, I think, like 9 a pop, like the little bottles, whatever. So I buy
Man.
two, and we're drinking those. So I already have a beer there. And then my brother-in-law tells me, notify, hey man, we can just order some drinks from the gals here that are offering drinks. So we get two margaritas right there, one for me, one for him. So, dude, I'm like, at this point, I'm just hitting them back, like just taking them, or whatever. By the time we exit that, go to the Cosmopolitan, some more margaritas, more beer. At this time, I'm like, I know I'm gonna feel it. I know I'm already in dangerous territory in the water, right? So
Yeah.
then we take a cab and go to, I believe, this other one. It's a new hotel a little bit further before little no, I was gonna say Little Caesars, Caesar's Palace. So we go there and we get more drinks, dude. At this time around, we're like already 2-3 in the morning. We ended off with a couple Coronas and a shot of it's Don Julio. It's like a top shelf Don Julio tequila. That's where it put me out. I swear, bro, I have not been so wasted. Like that's probably the most wasted I've been in a while. And I'm keeping my composure at this point. And luckily, like I didn't puke or nothing. I didn't like stumble or fall down or nothing. But I just remember like walking to the cab slowly. Everything's just like going like this. My wife's just like, okay, you got this. Let's just go to the cab and just
Yeah.
go to the hotel. You'll be good. So man, we made it out of there. It was a good time. We were just laughing, have a good time, hitting the slots, losing money, of course. And the next morning was horrific. Just hangover like a mother. It's
Ugh.
hot. It's like just thinking about it right now, it makes me want to puke a little bit because it's like
Yeah.
it was just so miserable. But the following day, yes, that's where I went
But
to
it
get
was, but it was it worth it? Was the night worth it?
Oh yeah, dude. I think it played out really just perfect because lovely dinner. We were just walking, checking out the strip, just me and my wife, and then we met up with my sister-in-law and her husband. Hit some slots, had some drinks, just went way overboard on a few drinks, but it was a good time. It was a good
Hey
time,
man.
honestly. It's I don't do it too much often. I mean, in comparison to what I was doing in my 20s, but yeah, man, it was
Yeah.
good. It was good. I think it's like every once in a blue moon, it doesn't hurt to have one of those days, right? But I just didn't expect it. But it's always like they say, right? When those times kind of come unexpectedly, it's one of the best moments you really kind of enjoy a little bit
Yep.
more because it's kind of spontaneous, right? So I
Yep.
think for that reason, I really did enjoy it and it was good. But fast forward to the Gordon Ramsay burger. Yes, that spot too as well, man. Phenomenal. It was so good. Just the sauces and everything was homemade. Oh man, it was so good. I ate mine like that. My wife couldn't finish hers but she was already getting full with the fries. And then we had this dessert that was like this I forgot what it's called, but it's like this little cake with ice cream on top, bro. Oh my word. I'm like, if this is what they call fine dining, like I'm glad I haven't like really tried it to where like, I'd probably go broke, try to go to all these spots and try fine dining, like they say, because it's just really good. It's the truth. So far from my experience, I would say I highly praise both those spots, Gordon Ramsay's burger and Gordon Ramsay steakhouse. So definitely try that out if you go to Vegas. Well worth it.
Okay. How
Yeah, man.
how much did you gain when you
Oh,
came back
dude, I
home?
know. Oh, dude, I ate quite a bit. I mean, I'll tell you that because we had a Dunkin' Donuts, In and Out, the steakhouse, the burger place. I don't know what else we had. Oh, yeah, we went to this other Mexican restaurant. My wife was disappointed. She didn't like it. She had, it's like they specialize in seafood. She was disappointed. She's like, nope, not coming back here. It
No
was really,
bueno.
and I was about to get something, but I wasn't feeling 100% myself. Again,
Yeah.
I don't want to eat and then have the urge to puke. So I was like, no, I'm just gonna stay out of it. I'm gonna have like a cold soda and I'm good. But she said she didn't enjoy it. That was like the only one time she said she didn't really enjoy that food that we had when we were there. So other than that, man, it was phenomenal. It was good. But yes, I
Okay.
did eat a
Wow.
lot.
How many days?
We were there. We left Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, and flew back Sunday. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it was
Down there a
cool,
couple
man.
days.
Yeah, it was cool.
Didn't get shot. That's good.
No, no. Oh,
Uh,
I did. We did drive by Flamingo and Covo though, and I said, "All right, be Pac to the great one." I wanted to step out and like pour something, but I didn't think about it at the time. Like I always wanted to do that, like just pour a little bit of liquor. Just say one time for the great. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
Yeah. Even
Yeah,
the
so you
taxi
were
driver
on
was,
Flamingo and Koval, huh?
yeah. Even the taxi driver was like, yeah, this is where right here Tupac got shot. He was telling us kind of like
Man.
a little what is a tour he was giving us, right? I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, I know where this at. Yeah, we stayed a couple blocks down. There was a Platinum Hotel. We stayed there a few years back when we took a little road trip with the boys. But yeah, man. So yeah,
Wow.
definitely. No, we didn't get shot though. So yeah, that was good.
Fantastic. Yeah.
No, man, but
Well,
it was
that's good.
phenomenal, man.
You know, while you were gone, it same with me. It felt like, you know, here it was Saturday, and I'm like, man, do I want to go up there and, you know, bang something out?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, I just didn't feel the vibe, you know. I was like, nah,
Mm-hmm.
I need my partner with me, you know, and I just didn't have it in me. So no, but definitely I was keeping tabs on you
Yep.
and just watching you enjoy while I was, you know, holding down the fort, holding down,
At the White House, right? Yeah,
watching the
man.
world crumble all around me,
Oh,
and
dude.
just
So
happy that you got to do this before the apocalypse.
oh, dude. So yeah, let's drive right into it, right? Today's we're gonna go off top on this one, right? Because this is more
Yeah,
of a catch up episode. So explain to me. I've been trying to keep tabs because we're part of this group on Signal. Shout out to the homeboy Samir, a part of his group, right? And they were discussing this. My phone was blowing up with all these notifications about that, and then you're texting me too as well about just this bank collapsing over in Silicon Valley, correct?
yeah.
So, okay, so break it down for me. For anybody that doesn't know, they probably saw the headlines. This bank collapsed in Silicon Valley. So, how'd you hear of it? How'd you come across it when this happened? Like just that day of?
So, well, I'm, you know, I'm in the crypto circles,
Yeah.
and we knew that, you know, the first bank to drop was I think Silvergate,
Okay.
and then like you talk and Silvergate, they're you know, real big in crypto, helping you know, small businesses, whatever. But like
Mm-hmm.
when I say small businesses, I mean like people that are millionaires,
Mm-hmm.
and you know they're going into this, but it's like tech heavy. It's a tech heavy bank.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people in the crypto space bank with them, and all of a sudden, you know, there was a bank run. They start, you know, getting more people drawing out, more people, more cash than what they had, and so whatever they boom, Silvergate, they're gone. Bank number two was SVB, right? Silicon Valley Bank, same thing, tech sector, heavy in the tech sector. Feds come in and you know, take care of them. Janet Yellen, the whole crew come in, and then boom, right after that, Signature, and then the other one, the latest one is I want to call it Federal Trust or something. That's the latest one, and so the feds have come in and they're like, listen, uh, we're gonna come in, and you know everybody's FDIC insured up to 250,000,
Mm-hmm.
but the Biden, his administration came in and actually told these banks, no, we'll actually cover you 100%. Oh, and I forgot about Credit Suisse. That one was going on over in Switzerland as well. So federal, I guess federal trust, that one's the one that they're saying is going to be hit next. So I was mistaken there by saying federal. They haven't fallen yet, but it looks like they're about to. But Credit Suisse was the fourth one.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, so that situation, they have people in Europe, big, you know, millionaires, whatever, venture capitalists that are coming in and saving them over on that side. So basically, it's just a bunch of millionaires that got lost or got broke, you know, would have lost everything except for their 250,000. And then a bunch of more rich people came in and helped the Credit Suisse. But then in America, Biden got all the poor people to bail out the rich once again. So,
Mm-hmm.
so that's once again, we're repeating 2008 on a very small scale, but the problem or the risk that still remains is the contagion, is whether or not the other banks, more banks, because Biden just can't keep having the taxpayers bail out more and more, which I don't even know how that's legal. I don't even know how he can, you know, just like you're federally insured, you know, they pay for this much coverage for 250,000 per that's the insurance that the bank pays every month. how is it that Biden can come in and say, "Hey, we'll take care of the rest," or the American taxpayers who are facing higher inflation than we've seen in 40 years will take the rest of the tab. We'll pay it. They'll
Insane.
pay it for you. So
Insane.
that's the situation we're in right now.
I'm just mind blown. Like, where is all this money just magically coming from? I swear, it's like everything. Like, we're sending money to Ukraine. Now we're dealing with this. I'm like, dude, when does it end? Like, it's crazy to me.
Well,
And to fit into that too, as well, right? Like, while in Vegas, when this is going on, I'm like staring at all these people like spending money, Brett. I'm talking about people just dropping. Like, I was watching the craps table, dude, thousands and I'm like, holy. They're like, they don't care. They don't care.
yeah,
Whatever. I'm like, dude, it's insane, man. But here I am too, right? Just walking around getting wasted. But I'm like, I'm not that level of just like not spending crazy amounts of money either. But it's like, damn, like it's like a never ending thing.
yeah, yeah. That's
Crazy.
money, like like I don't have money. I can't fathom holding.
Oh my word, dude. It's okay.
Yeah.
So what you're saying about this being 2008 in a smaller scale, I'm sure
So
this is like a
far,
trill.
it
This
could
could
go
be a
bigger.
trickle effect, right? Like it could be much more massive than just where it's starting now, correct?
Yep. Yep. If this whole bailout thing doesn't work, and now we got credit. So I mean, they're basically trying to throw everything they can, but it can still fall apart. It can still
Mm,
it's just a matter of how confident the market feels. Now, ever since the Biden put the taxpayers on this bailout for the SVB, Bitcoin has went up, so the market has seemed to react positively to the news. But there's still a lot of people that are actually still pulling their money out of the banks and, ironically, putting it into Bitcoin. So a lot of
mm,
people, like, Bitcoin is really, and in fact, Bitcoin was made for this exact situation.
dang.
When the Fed was just going to print more money, print more money, print more money. That's why Bitcoin was like, the inflation going through the roof. That's why Bitcoin said, "Hey, we're going to make 21 million of these, no more, no less. This is all you got." And so you don't get to see inflation with Bitcoin. And so people are taking their money out and converting it to Bitcoin.
Do you think
So,
this
and
is what
Bitcoin, I'm sorry, go.
no, do you think this is what Bitcoin needs or just crypto in general needs to kind of catapult it to make a statement? You would say that this is a prime example of why this would be a benefactor for everybody.
Yes. So
Okay.
as angry as I am about, being on the hook to pay off some millionaires so they don't
Yeah.
go broke, I'm also, because I'm in the crypto space, I am like, this is the moment we knew would happen again. This is what we've all uh, um, been waiting for, and now that it's happening, we actually get to see Bitcoin in work. So it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, Bitcoin, I think we're up, what, 26,000? Let me check.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, 27, dude, 27,000 now.
Insane, dude.
So,
Yeah, I would. So if this kind of plays out, man, I would think it's going to skyrocket even more. And do
mhm.
you think just not? I mean, I'm sure too, right? Not only Bitcoin, but other coins as well. Correct?
It depends, because so um Gary Gensler, who is the chairman or whatever of the SEC, Security
Mm-hmm.
Exchange Commission, he is going balls to the wall right now on crypto. He's trying to, I want to say, like, he's trying to scare people away from crypto, because I
Mm,
think they know how desperate of a situation they're in, and the smart ones are saying, okay, I know better. I'm safe with Bitcoin. That's where I'm going. So, because Bitcoin is secure, there's nothing, Bitcoin is going nowhere. He's going after what he can go after. So
mm.
maybe it's Binance. They had a situation with the USDC. No, let's see. Yeah, USDC. That one is supposed to be pegged to the dollar. It actually lost its peg, And so what they're saying is, okay, so now we're in a situation where this stable coin is supposed to be pegged to the dollar, meaning, it's always a dollar. Well, when people start pulling all their money out of USDC, it's too much for them to keep up with, so it loses the peg. And that's where he's trying to attack them. So basically, no stable coin is safe if it's collateralized. So
Interesting.
that's he's going after whatever he can, but he's basically going to try to paint it in a way that scares you away from Bitcoin. But if you're smart and you know the difference, you know that Bitcoin is like digital gold. It's liquid, you can spend it, you can put it on a wallet, no one can stop you from spending it, and it's deflationary. They're not printing more. They can't print more out of thin air because they want to. No, it's done.
Yeah, the one thing I do like about it is because of the concept, basically, like you said, right? You could take it anywhere with your ledger, right? You could take that wherever, however much you have. I mean, you could
Yep.
take, I mean, I don't think there's even a set amount that you could take over
None.
because, I mean,
No.
like for anything, right? For example, we shared a story here on the podcast about a gentleman that was riding around with 45,000 in his possession. He got stopped. They took it from him because he was crossing
Civil
state
forfeiture.
lines. And it was like, how's that even fair? How's that even a lot? Like, you can't even take your own money that you have because they would suspect it's something that you got for doing something illegal or made it illegal, whatever. But it's like, I don't know, man. I think that type
even
of
if
stuff
they
is
can't
BS.
find a crime against you, they still keep the money, and it takes you hiring attorneys to get it back. And then at that point, they'll settle with you and they'll say, well, court is going to be more expensive than the money you even have. So we'll just give you half and call it a day.
Well, you keep 20
so
racks,
then
right?
you only get half back minus your legal fees for doing
Insane.
nothing illegal. Nothing illegal.
Insane, dude.
So with Bitcoin, they can't play that game. They can't.
There you
And
go.
so and the cool thing is now Bitcoin, see, back in 2008, 2009 financial crisis, Bitcoin wasn't around. There was no such thing as Bitcoin. But now Bitcoin is worldwide. So if I want to go to Ecuador, or I want to go to a country in Africa, or I want to go to Asia, whatever, as long as you can find somewhere where Bitcoin is accepted, you can either spend it or you can trade it and for the local currency.
That's
so
crazy, yeah.
Bitcoin, I'm telling you, man, that is our savior. And Gary Gensler is doing his hardest to try to scare us, try to spook us away from cryptos, because they just know how fragile the US dollar is right now.
Yeah, I mean, no. So what's crazy? I got an email. I don't know from it was. I think it was under my the bank that my wife's car we have the loan under, and they were talking about what was going on with that bank in Silicon Valley, like not to worry about them with your money, or if we have, because we don't have anything aside from the loan there, right? We don't have like our savings there in that bank specifically, but they were saying if you have your money with us, don't worry, you shouldn't have nothing to fear in regards to the bank, failing over in Silicon Valley. But I was like, that's kind of alarming. They even got to put something out like that. Like, why?
Right.
If you got anything concerned, just don't say anything about it. Unless if there's
the
something
second
really
they
to
tell
be
you
about.
not to be alarmed,
Yeah,
it's the time you get alarmed.
it's like, that's when I know, okay, there's something's really going down the pipeline right now. Something's about to happen. So I don't know, man. I mean, we just got to brace ourselves on this one and see where this goes. But of course, you got to tune into the podcast so we keep you updated on the latest and greatest in regards to this. We're gonna stick with you.
Absolutely. We'll stay on top of that, like a fly on a burger.
Yeah, a juicy one. Oh man, I've been, just taking it back before we were talking about Gordon Ramsay burger. When I got back, I wanted to go to Dick's Burger so bad. We landed here at like 9 o'clock in the morning. They didn't even open till 11. So I'm like, oh, I couldn't do it. It was on a Sunday too. I was like, oh man, I'm craving one of those burgers, but no, man, I'm still
you got robbed, dog.
I got robbed, man. I got robbed. So what else is on the plate, brother? I mean, what else is going on your side of the fence, man, that we got going on aside from, the financial system fucking just collapsing and the dollar just being worth zero, as it really is worth zero as we speak. So, I mean,
well,
anything
did you hear a little story about this guy today?
Oh, that's a 101 right there. Limited edition enclosed.
Yeah.
That's a real Funko, right?
That's legit, dude. That's a Donald Trump Funko. Back
Let's
when the
go.
2016 election, you could have got Bernie, you could have got Biden, you could have or no, Bernie. Oh yeah, no, it was Bernie, Hillary, and Trump. And and I guarantee you they made these hoping and praying that the woman in pants was gonna win.
So it was, yes. So I did hear a little bit about him. But let's go into it. So just give a little overview. And again, we'll go into it more in detail since I'm sure you're pretty informed on this. He's saying he's going to get arrested. So what is the deal behind all this? Is this having to do with
So
all this stuff they found on him
remember when he
supposedly?
paid off Stormy Daniels to keep her mouth shut about sleeping with her? She was like
Okay.
a prostitute or something.
Yeah. Yes. I remember
So
that.
so basically, that's what it was. It was hush money, you know. So she was supposed to have just shut up, like most people that sign NDAs and get paid, what was it, 150, $125,000, something like that,
Yeah.
you know. So she got paid six figures to just keep her mouth shut, and she didn't. And so I guess they're tying it with campaign finance laws, and how they use like campaign finance money to to shut her up.
Mm,
So, for one, I'm thinking she should pay that money back because she talked.
mm.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
fair
thinking.
enough. Fair enough. Yeah. True.
But anyway, so where this puts us today, though, is that the DA in New York, a man by what was Alvin,
Alvin.
Alvin,
Alvin and the
Alvin
Chipmunks.
Bragg, some super like Trump hater, and he's like, "Yep, we're gonna arrest him." So here's the thing, though. So that's the speculation, but the speculation is coming from Trump's page on Truth Social.
Okay.
He's
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, on Tuesday they're gonna arrest me," and so he was asking his followers to protest. Now we saw how well that went last time. Yeah,
Is it January 6th, correct? Is that the date? January 6th?
yeah, it's the day they don't want anybody to forget. They want everybody to think it was like this huge what's that word?
Is that revolution?
Re- I don't know, some stupid word about taking over your government. I see. Obviously, they haven't cracked through my dome because God, I don't even know that
You're too
word. But
insane in the
anyway,
man
they
brain.
were saying that they were trying to take over the government.
Okay.
They weren't. Um, and it has been proven that they're not. So anyway, so he's asking for followers to protest on Tuesday if he gets arrested. But I have this little thing in me that says that maybe he's just making this up. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe he's not. I don't know. He knows more than I do. But Elon Musk got on the Twitter space, and he said that if this does happen, and you're going after political targets, and you're using the Department of Justice, and you're using the legal system against political opponents, this will make Trump a martyr, and you will have more Trump people that would have never voted for Trump. Like in the comments today, one thing I've been reading a lot of is people that were originally aiming to vote for DeSantis are like, nope, this seals the deal for Trump. I will vote for Trump under any and all circumstances if he gets arrested. And
Interesting.
and I just think, okay, so would I vote for someone who is running for president who has a criminal record? And I'm thinking, well, relatable. Have you ever been in handcuffs?
Once I have actually. I have.
Once, okay.
Because suspended driver's license. It was just long story short. Yeah, suspended
Okay,
driver's license.
so arrested or just in handcuffs?
Arrested.
Arrested.
Like in
Yeah.
the back of the police car. Didn't go to jail, but my dad had to pick me up, and yeah. So I just got in trouble. That's all it was.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I myself have been arrested multiple times. And so, it's not fun. It's not fun.
Sucks.
But now it's one more thing that I can say, man, I really relate to that guy.
We see eye to eye.
And we just see eye to eye. I like walls. He likes walls.
As you can see, the wall in the
You
back.
know, he's anti-China. I'm anti-China. You
Oh
know,
shit, yeah. I mean, I'll say
yeah,
this, right? I think, especially what's going on now with the country, man. It's I don't know. Like, I just find myself to where, like, is this really going on in our country right now with everything going on? It's just like, dang, I just feel like we need something new. We just need something new at this point. I don't know what it is, but it's like, we can't do it with Biden in the seat of presidency. That's my
yeah.
opinion personally,
Well,
but
if this is true, like I'm really just holding out to see if it's really true,
mm,
because it could just be just Trump, just being Trump,
mm,
just being all loud, screaming at the TV, like, yeah, they're gonna arrest me, and just trying to rile people up. But if there is any merit to it, and he ends up, on in New York with in silver bracelets, then that's when it gets real. Then we can revisit the conversation. But I think until then, there's not really much to go into. I don't want to give it that much weight because really, at this point, I don't know how substantiated it is. I mean, it came
yeah.
from Truth Social. It's hitting social media pretty hard, and people are either all for it or they're like, ready to, you know, vote for Trump.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So pretty much to kind of boil it down, it almost seems like he's trying to use this for a political gain to get his kind of campaign going, right? To kind of
It
rally
could
up the
be,
people,
could
right?
be an
Okay,
option,
okay,
yeah. Or it could
okay.
be like, if it's real, right? Then he's basically shining the light on, once again, more weaponization of our justice system. And
Mhm,
because we've already seen um, federal agents showing up at PTA meetings, where parents are just going out and they're just being outspoken about critical race theory,
mhm,
and they don't want their children to learn these things and be treated inferior to other races, when this whole thing was supposed to be, we're all equal. We're all equal. But now with critical race theory, they're focused on equity, and equity puts some races above others. And a lot of parents of all colors, by the way, Hispanic, black, white, Asian, a lot of parents are showing up to these meetings saying, no, this is not going to happen. So then Merrick Garland has been sending in federal agents to these schools. Now, he hasn't done it in a while. I think there was so much protest about it and it got so loud, he kind of had to pull his team back. But that's what they were trying to do.
interesting,
So
interesting.
now this is just another thing. And so, and Biden does have a history when it came to that prosecutor in Ukraine. He's famously, there's a famous clip out there where he was talking about they wanted this prosecutor fired because he was basically uncovering all this corruption. And, and Biden didn't want that corruption discovered. He wanted it all hidden. And I don't know if it was, but I think part of it was because there was some Burisma stuff, and at that time Hunter Biden was working with Burisma,
Mhm.
so they didn't want any of that Burisma associations, anything uncovered. So they told Ukraine, "We're going to give you a loan, and but if you don't fire that prosecutor, you're not getting the loan." And so Biden is famously quoted as saying something like, and God damn it, they fired him. So he has a history of doing this kind of thing against
Yeah.
his political opponents.
Hmm.
So if he's, if this is a desperate ploy that they're using to get Trump out of the race, a lot of people are there to back up DeSantis, but really all this is going to do is just martyr Trump and make this for a very interesting election.
Oh yeah, that's. I think it's like looking at it for the main event, right? To see
Yeah.
if this is really going to come down. I'm just very curious. I want to watch how this all unfolds, honestly. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be the very interesting next couple of months. And it's just like, let's just say hypothetically, right? Let's just put this out there. I kind of want to put a scenario. How would you think he would handle the whole Ukraine Russian thing right now? If let's say Trump took office, knowing that him and Putin were, I would say, on a good end, right? They were like, you say he was a good man, that, they got along well, all this, and that. How would you see that play out?
I think that he's a peacemaker.
Okay.
As if you'll remember, our 4 years with Trump was the only 4 years we've ever had where we haven't invaded another country.
Yeah.
Um,
And he chopped it
even
up with
with
Kim Jong Un
Biden,
too.
what's that?
He chopped it up with Kim Jong Un too as well, which was like,
Yeah,
what?
he did that. And the thing about, so here's the thing, it's already gone too far. Russia has already invaded Ukraine, so it's already too late.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that Trump, being the negotiator, the deal maker that he is, I think that they would work on some sanctions, figure out, okay, you know, and probably, I mean, in all honesty, give up some of Ukraine. So maybe, hey, they're going to keep Crimea, maybe Donetsk or whatever it's called, and some of the other regions that they're fighting for. Maybe, that's part of the deal, is to say, Russia is going to keep these parts of Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to lessen some sanctions, but now Ukraine, this is, you're a functioning country. Maybe they work on some sort of a payment plan to build, Ukraine's infrastructure. But they got to get that Nord Stream 2 pipeline built again. That's probably going to be, if Trump might, even if we were behind that, if Joe Biden had made that call and was behind that bombing, America might actually end up paying for that as like a form of restitution to get Russia the means to pay off their, because the fines and all this stuff. So I think he could strike a deal, but I think he could pull into it for sure, because
Yeah.
Russia, they're not fighting a winning war. At this point, there's so many people involved. Their time to win this war was 4 months ago, and they blew it. And so now the whole world is involved, and
Yeah.
they're giving them, Ukraine more weapons than they could ever need.
Yeah. I
But at the same time, Russia could still pull it off. All they got to do is just keep throwing bodies at it, and that's what Russia does. That's all. That's the game that Russia knows how to play.
So one interesting thing I did hear, though, where it could get kind of dicey. I don't know if you heard about this, and I heard this on a podcast with this gentleman who was an interrogator during the Afghan war, and he was talking about how Iran's involvement with Ukraine. I don't know if you heard how they're giving them some type of aid. Well, that move alone kind of puts China in kind of like a weird position, because they're with Russia, they're backing up Russia with whatever they need. They also gave them some drones, stuff like that, and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of puts them in an awkward position with Iran, because they're supposed to be buddies in regards to oil. So how is it now that you have Iran picking the side with Ukraine, and you don't want to tarnish those relationships, because they got some pretty strong relationships between those two countries itself. Now, what do you do knowingly if you were trying to do something in regards to, I guess, put yourself in that position, knowingly, okay, if I cross this line, Iran's going to be my other enemy as well. And I think they've had like a really good past relationship as well, to where is this a time and place they want to give up that relationship just for this, or they're gonna be like, all right, we'll back up and we'll leave Russia be at where it's at, or just we're gonna back you up, Russia, and we're just gonna go forward with it. I don't know if you heard about that.
I didn't hear about that, but I can see it, and I don't think that with Iran helping Ukraine and China helping Russia, that China's in a tough spot no matter what. They are also in a losing position, because if this thing goes wrong in any way, shape, or form, their economy is the one that goes to hell in a handbasket.
Mm-hmm.
So they're the ones that stand to lose the most out of all this stuff.
Yeah.
So they got to be, I don't think they're going to be picking any beefs with Iran through this. They're just going to let Iran do what Iran's going to do. If that's what they're doing, they're helping Ukraine.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting that they're doing that, because here we are helping Ukraine out, and it almost doesn't make sense to me. I feel like Iran would be helping Russia.
That's what I thought too when he said that, and when this
makes no sense, because Iran and the U.S. are like enemies.
Because
they call us the Great Satan.
Yeah, it's I know we do have some kind of, we're not on good terms with them. I know that the playing field is so, like you said, everybody's involved with it. Everybody has their hands in it now, to where it's like you were saying, it's a proxy war. Everybody's involving somehow, some way in that war. It's just a matter of like how's it going
Definitely.
to play
And
out. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Saudi Arabia, they have a lot of beef with Iran right now. So, if Iran's caught slipping in any way, shape, or form, you got Saudi Arabia and of course Israel, who can't stand Iran either.
Yeah.
They're ready to uh bombs first. They're ready to do whatever they got to do.
Yeah. Like Tupac
So, I
bomb first.
mean, yeah, man,
No,
it's pretty interesting. Pretty
it,
interesting that, this is all going on. And I think, at the end of the day, I think the thing that worries me the most about all of this going down is when I go to Target and I keep seeing my prices go up. I'm just like,
oh, dude, I know, man.
I'm
It's
like, I know you guys are
insane.
dying over there. I know it sucks. There was a school yesterday. There's no longer a school. There's no longer a hospital.
No bueno.
Sucks. But can you guys kind of get your stuff together? Because I'd like to start paying a little bit less in laundry detergent. Please.
Say I don't need to
Thank you.
pay $29.99. I need to
Yeah.
pay 10 minimum. That's it.
Right. I'd really appreciate it. The Beyond Expectation podcast would really appreciate it.
Oh man, yeah, it's definitely a lot's been going on, man, with that. I mean, it's just you were saying, so you were saying, just correct me if I'm wrong. You were saying that this war or Russia's chance of winning was 4 months ago.
If they were going to win this thing, like they should have won 4 months ago. Um,
Mm.
a guy that I listen to, if you want to check out a guy who really knows his stuff, he's a what do you call it?
Geopolitician.
No,
No.
yeah, geopolitical strategist.
Okay, okay,
His name is Peter. Oh man, Peter Zihan.
okay.
Dude, I'm about to get one of his books, and this guy is on it. He is on it, and he's basically all. We got to put a video up in the description or something.
Okay, I'll definitely link it up.
Of one of his keynote speaks. I think he was down in Texas, and he's basically like, he was talking about the war, and he was talking about Russia, how now more than ever it's more of a fair fight. But when Russia first invaded, it shouldn't have taken them this long to win.
Yeah.
They should have won, like he was saying, 4 months ago. And they blew it. Like everywhere they could have failed, they did. And then meanwhile, Ukraine just kept getting lucky, kept getting breaks, and they were using those breaks to their full potential. So it's almost like it was like divine intervention or something that keeps Russia from winning. But it's still like the odds are now 50-50. When before it was, the odds were all in favor, 9-1 that Russia was going to get Ukraine in just a matter of months. But now it's 50-50. So if Russia just keeps throwing bodies at it, either way, it's not looking good for either country in the years to come. There's going
Okay.
to be a lot of devastation.
So what's up with this? I think they said they wanted the arrest for illegal child deportation from Ukraine to Russia. That they wanted to arrest Putin now.
Yeah, there is a warrant out for Vladimir Putin, President Vladimir Putin's arrest.
Holy
Arrest that
moly!
man for war crimes. Yeah. He's like,
Oh
Master
man.
P, if you want me, come get me. How that you gonna get me? you know, like,
For real. How are you gonna get him? Like
I'm
straight up, he's not
sure.
gonna just give himself in. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
I'm sure Putin is losing no sleep over a threat like that.
Just rolls over. Say, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that.
Oh my
I was
god.
laughing when I heard that the World Community Convention, whatever, has now there's a warrant out for Putin's arrest. I'm like, wow, it took him a year invading a country. You know what I mean? He got his own pipeline blown up by the
Oh my
U.S.
word.
And
That's
then
crazy, dude.
yeah, it's like,
How
come
can you take
on,
it
shut
seriously,
up.
right? Yeah. How can you take it
But I mean,
seriously?
I saw what we did to Gaddafi.
Ugh. Yeah, they ended
Ugh.
up too good. I mean, someone stole his pistols. Did you see that? Like somebody had stole like his golden engraved handguns. Like they were just like it
Oh,
was
I
like a
believe it.
yeah, I was like,
I
damn.
believe it.
ruthless,
Yeah,
man.
man.
I
Yeah.
remember that. Like there was a video of him, like how they were like just carrying his dead body around and stuff like that. Like, damn, you guys
You
are.
know, I was reading something. They were saying that the one thing that has in common, like all these regimes that America comes in and destroys, the
Yeah.
one thing that they all have in common is they've all conspired to overthrow the dollar as the world reserve currency. So, like, they'll make deals to trade with a different currency other than the dollar. And so, ironically, that's exactly what Russia and China are both conspiring to do with a world reserve currency that they're calling BRICS, which stands for it's an abbreviation for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa,
Oh
and
wow.
they're all getting together, and then other countries are applying to be a part of their group, and they're basically trying to counter America and Europe and the Western countries and create their own world reserve currency. So if they want to trade with themselves, they'll say, "Hey, you can," they have to decide what they're going to use. But right now, they're all making deals with like they have a certain money in gold that they're all trying to raise. And so that's what China and Russia both have been prior to the invasion of Ukraine. China and Russia and all these countries have been just stocking up massive amounts of gold lately.
Interesting, huh? Bricks, huh? And we're not talking about bricks as in cocaine. We're talking about bricks for money, right? Our
Not
new
talking
type of
about I'm
currency.
not talking about my 3-point shot either. Put me in, coach.
Just
Brick.
switch.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, so something. Okay. So since we're on this tip, right? Questions just come arise. They just come in my little brain or my head, my mind. So Venezuela is not doing hasn't been doing hot at all for the past couple of years, right?
Yeah.
From what I've seen and from all the articles, just articles that I've come across, it doesn't look too hot.
Right.
But I was reading one that they were saying this is intentional, so that way we can come in there and get them for their resources and pretty much kind of bail them out in a sense, right?
I believe
Like
it.
it was like on purpose.
Yeah. And then
Wow.
they're always in debt to us. China's playing the same game over in Africa.
Africa.
They're going
Mm-hmm.
into African nations and building the what do they call it? The new Silk Road or Silk Road 2.0 or whatever they're the digital Silk Road, something like that.
Yeah.
And they're so we only like our media only talks about what China's doing, but yes, you're right, we are doing the same exact thing in our own backyard and just indebting these poor nations,
Insane,
basically
dude.
trying to you know colonize them without actually calling it a colony, or
Yeah.
just sucking them up in debt.
Damn. So here you go. We're gonna help you out. Here's this, and that. But by the way, for the next 50, 100 years, need that cheese.
Yeah. Doesn't it make
Damn.
you feel good that you're already in this country? Like you and me are already here and we're like already at the top of the mountain, and everybody else is just climbing up, and then, like our leader
Uh,
is just like has this broomstick and he's like he gets to pick and choose who he wants to win, and but we
just dusting
benefit
them
no matter
off.
what.
Oh, they just
Like,
dusting
unless
them
they
off.
nuke us, right?
Yeah, unless they get nuked and everybody just completely just gets vaporized from this planet. Oh
Yeah.
man, yeah, it's bittersweet, man, because it's like obviously there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and I do have days where I think about that stuff. I go into deep think mode, like when I'm working and just listen to the podcast to talk about this type of stuff specifically, and it just makes me feel like just fortunate, man. Fortunate that we live in this country. It may not be perfect, of course, by any means, but it's like, man, it could be a lot worse. I'll just say that, and I always tell
Well,
myself that, like if I have a bad day or whatever, or something's going on, it could be worse, or it could be much worse than the situation I'm going through, whatever. But yes, man, it just makes me feel very fortunate, dude. Honestly,
for
like,
for a hot minute, dude, when those four suspected Haitian drug smugglers, which turned out to just be Americans going down for plastic surgery.
oh, let's talk about that.
When
Okay.
when two of them got killed, um, I for a hot minute, dude, I thought that the U.S. was using that crisis to invade Mexico. I thought, oh my God, we're gonna invade Mexico,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
for
I'm like,
sure.
because the cartel, I tell you what. Like the cartel, we know that they're ruthless. We've seen all the damage they've done, but I tell you what, they have their own like level of corruption, but for the most part, from what I see, they can't they run a clean business, you know? Like I I'm not against the cartel running Mexico. I feel like the cartel running Mexico is making Mexico cleaner than if the Mexican government were to run the cartel, because we all know that how corrupt those politicians are,
Mm,
and I feel like we would get nowhere without the cartel. So I feel like
yeah.
the cartel is who is running the country, and I would just like I don't even think our military could take on the cartel, to be honest.
Yeah, that's always one of those the questions that come around. Like just like I said, I listen to different podcasts, and it's it would be a huge all-out war, man. But in
Yeah.
regards to this situation with those four people, the two people that died and two made it out alive, um, it seemed very odd because a lot of the times I hear that at the most part, as long as you stay where you're at, where you're supposed to stay, you're not gonna have any issues. If you come across something that you know is somewhat suspicious, they'll let you know, like, hey, don't go back to where you were at. Don't come over here. Just
Yep.
don't come around this
They
area.
have rules,
They
right?
have rules. They'll warn you, because they don't
Yep.
want to get any, they just don't want to bring any heat on them, and they don't want to bring any heat with whatever brings them money. So they're pretty
Right.
much straight to business. But
Yep.
when I heard this, where two people got killed and then two people made a love, like, ugh, like I was just like, that's not good, and that's pretty that's pretty rare. I don't want to say rare, but it's very, it doesn't happen as much as people would think, right?
Right.
And the other thing was the cartel that actually that those people were involved, that kidnapped those four individuals, they got killed. And they left a note saying, hey, we took care of it. These are the five people that did this act. We disciplined them. It's not gonna happen. I'm like,
I thought that they
okay.
just put him out in the street to get arrested.
No, I think they killed him, dude.
Oh, they killed
Yeah,
him.
they killed him.
Oh
So they
yeah.
were straight to like
Well,
just
so
say
I
we
mean, one
solved this
part of that,
problem.
because I'm pretty sure that we have CIA that's working with the cartel and helping them bring fentanyl into our streets. So that's where that's the part that kind of sucks, is
Mm.
because now but the cartel needs that American money. And so what better way to make American money than to just get fentanyl all over our streets. And so I'm pretty sure that our CIA is totally in support of it,
Yeah.
because they get the money as well, and it's helping fund their operations too. But and so when the GOP was talking about, it was a bunch of GOP leaders talking about, oh, we need to go to war, we need to start fighting the cartel.
Mhm.
I mean, as much as I'd love to see the drugs get kicked off the street, nothing can really happen. Like, this whole country has basically legalized drugs, or lessened the crimes on drugs so much that it's just like, like you can go downtown Portland, Seattle, Las Vegas, I'm sure, Los Angeles, and people can openly smoke crack. Nobody's going to stop you from smoking crack. So if it's already to that point, then like, who's the bad guy at that point? Is it
Mm.
the cartel for bringing up the drugs and making money, making easy money at that?
Mhm.
Or is it our law enforcement for letting everything go?
Yeah.
I mean, we've got to look out for our own people, and we're not even looking for our own people. And to start a war with another country when we're not even taking care of our own people, getting
Yeah.
our own people to help, and uh, you know, toughening the laws, and toughening the support for drug addiction, then how who are we to go into another country and invade another country if we're not even helping our own?
True. Very true. Valid point, man. Yeah, it's at the end of the day, man, I always look at it this way. There's always gonna be people that if they're addicted to this stuff, they're gonna find a way to get it. And there's always gonna be somewhere out there people that are gonna sell it. It's just
Right.
supply and demand. And everybody loves money. They're gonna figure out a way how to make it. So it's just, I don't think it's gonna be one of those things where it's just gonna evaporate and be gone. At the highest, I think it's maybe gonna get less and less, but it's still going to keep on going. I mean, we had it with crack, we've had it with cocaine, marijuana at one point before it became legal. I mean, it's just like a continuous thing, dude. This is how I see it personally, man. This is my opinion on it.
I mean, it comes down to a personal choice, right?
Yeah.
Like, I choose not to do drugs on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
Friday, Saturday, Sundays, I'm open for biz.
That's when I choose to do drugs.
I'm a
But I
functioning
mean,
citizen through those days, though.
we are all free to make our own choices.
Yeah.
And and if you are find yourself in a position where, like, okay, I've done too much crack, I need help. That's sort of on you too.
Yeah.
But that's not on your dealer. You're the one calling the dealer.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one. He's not shoving it down your throat. He's not forcing you to do it. You are calling him, saying, "Hey, man, I need a hit, and I've got the money." It's a mutual exchange.
Takes two to tango.
So we need to start looking at our own ownership of our own lives. And if you're and you're saying, "Oh, well, I'm addicted," well, guess what? Alcoholics, anybody who's ever been addicted to alcohol, drugs, or whatever, they have, if they were serious about getting help and fixing and getting off of whatever they're addicted to, they will find that help.
Yep.
And you can find groups. We have groups in all 50 states, every city. There's the support is out there if you want it. But if you don't want it, you can't blame anybody other than yourself for ruining your own life. So don't point at your local politicians for not doing this, and the cartel or the drug dealers or this and that for doing this. Nobody's forcing you to do anything.
Straight up.
So we have to have this self-ownership.
Yeah.
There's not enough of it, my opinion.
Yeah. And I just feel like, at the end of the day too, as well. I mean, it all starts with the home, bro. I think everything really does stem from the home as well. Like if you really come from a supportful unit, father, mother, whatever, I mean, it definitely contributes to one as they grow up and get older. It's just like we both have kids, right? We would hope that they don't choose to go down that route to where they choose to do these type of drugs. We can only do what we can at that point to guide them the best possible way. But I mean, I do feel it all starts at the home too, as well. I mean, there's always going to be people that are going to use it for an escape, or they're going through whatever it is, during whatever period of time. But there's other ways to do it as well. That's just not the go-to thing. I feel like, I mean, people don't look at the other options there are. I mean, you can go work out, you can go meditate if that's your thing. You can go and, I don't know, find an activity, find a hobby. Like you said, it's one's choice. If there's different types of things you can do to navigate yourself from even having that thing be the first thing you would come close to trying out to escape, right? Whatever. And I would want to say too, I mean, alcohol is probably the biggest thing that, people are addicted to, but we don't talk about it as much because it's just one of those things everybody does.
Right?
Exactly. So it's like,
yep.
Again, at the end of the day, it falls back on your choice. You make your decisions at the end of the day. So I mean, if you want to live like that, cool. By all means, go for it. But I mean,
if you do want help, right? And you do want help, I'm 100% on your side at that point.
Yeah.
Right. But there's things you got to do. You got to be serious about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty interesting, man. Pretty crazy. I'm glad. I should say, with all that being said, I'm glad we are not fighting Mexico. I'm glad we're not going down to Mexico and getting ourselves in a war we shouldn't be in.
Oh man,
best case scenario, pull the Ukraine route, right? Like, not even give them any money, just like, dude, Mexico, if your military is serious about this, come on up. We'll train you guys. You can come use our bases, whatever. We'll show you how to drive these little Brady tanks and whatnot. But that's your war. We'll teach you all the techniques we can. But if you guys are serious about cleaning up your own country, that's on you.
Yeah, straight up.
We ain't doing it.
Yeah, man, we already got, I mean, like I said, we need to start handling our own business over here in our country. I might start fixing a bunch of stuff that we got going on. I mean, I feel like there's like a never ending list of things that we need to look at too before we really start expanding and help out other people, because I'm sure we would definitely be down to help, some, other countries, whatever, but we need to focus here first too, man. I think it's long overdue at this point. Straight up.
Yeah. Well, and I think though, like I said, or I was talking about earlier, is those cartels do pay for a lot of CIA, a lot of, law enforcement on our side. Like you know, we know that they're connected.
Yeah.
And and so, as long as they're getting paid, they're gonna keep those tunnels clear,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, man. The world goes round and round, my friend. The world keeps going around.
That's right.
But of course, the podcast does as well. So yeah, I mean, I'm just glad to be back here, man. It's always a good time with you, man. Of course, this one was right off top as well. It's just good to be back here again because it sucks losing a week, obviously, because it's like we're so in rhythm, we're so in motion. We just want to put content out there for people to enjoy, watch, and listen to, and just help them get through the day. So yeah, man.
Yeah, baby.
Glad to be back. So with that being said, folks, we're gonna sign out. Go check out all our previous past content on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You know the biz. Follow us on Instagram, Beyond Expedition Podcast, as what it sees below right here beneath the table, and be updated with the latest and greatest in regards to the podcast there. So we'll catch you in the next one. Take care. We love you. We're back at it again. Don't worry, we're not going anywhere for now. But yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. All right. Have a fantastic weekend. Have a fantastic Friday. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.